This February hasn't gone quite as expected when it comes to Nintendo announcements. Last week, a partner showcase stood in for our general Nintendo Direct, and while there were plenty of cool announcements, it wasn't the full-blown Direct showing off more of the big games releasing in 2024. This is a pretty mysterious move, since Nintendo's release calendar right now is looking pretty light. After Princess Peach Showtime, which will be here in just a few weeks, we only have 2 more games on Nintendo's release schedule: Luigi's Mansion 2 HD and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Both of these are in the remake or remaster category, meaning that essentially Nintendo has 0 all-new games slated right now for 2024. Of course, now we have Endless Ocean Luminous, which is great, but that's a super niche title that was relegated to a partner showcase. Nintendo's not even choosing to put it on the release schedule. So knowing all this, we now have no choice but to ask, what exactly is going on at Nintendo right now? Will we simply be waiting until a June Direct to get a proper look at some more new games? Or does the decision to air a partner showcase in February mean something deeper? That's what we're going to be talking about today. If we're taking what we know so far about Nintendo's 2024 at face value, meaning the games we already know are coming, you can definitely say we're looking at a pretty light year. As of now, on the slate for Nintendo published games, it's just 2 remakes/remasters and Endless Ocean. Whereas last year at this time, we already knew about upcoming games like Bayonetta Origins, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and Pikmin 4. Comparatively, we had much more to look forward to in 2023. It should be noted though that Advance Wars and Tears of the Kingdom were both delayed out of 2022, which no doubt played a factor. So when thinking about it this way, then maybe 2024 isn't as light as it seems. It just feels that way since 2023 was especially packed. And this could very well be the case. We could get to June and have several more big Switch games revealed to help us fill out the remainder of the year. Last year's June Direct gave us Super Mario RPG, Detective Pikachu Returns, Pikmin 1 and 2, WarioWare Move It, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, making it mega packed in the later part of the year. Something like this is very well what we could see this year come summertime. But what about for the short term? We know about Princess Peach Showtime at the end of March, but other than that, the only thing we know about is Endless Ocean in early May, and that's not going to be marketed all that heavily. We know Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is coming out in the summer, so June would be the earliest we get that game, and all we know about The Thousand Year Door is that it's coming in 2024. Quite interestingly though, it's placed after Luigi's Mansion 2 HD on Nintendo's release calendar right now, which seems to suggest it's going to be coming even later than that game. If that is indeed the case, then we're going to have a serious lull during the months of April and May, and possibly even June, depending on when Luigi's Mansion ends up coming out. While it's not out of the ordinary for Nintendo to skip a month here and there, the gap between Princess Peach Showtime and whatever's going to come this summer seems oddly long. And maybe we're right to be a little bit suspicious about this. For one thing, we don't typically have a partner showcase in February. That's when we usually have a big general Nintendo Direct to kick off the year. So maybe this is the start of Nintendo flipping the script. And by that, I mean one of 2 things. Either a next-gen console reveal or a Nintendo Direct airing later in March or April. If Nintendo is priming a next-gen reveal for sometime in the next few months, then a partner showcase plus the lighter schedule for 2024 does make sense, especially if they're going to have something akin to the Nintendo Switch presentation of 2017, which showed off several new next-gen titles. A partner showcase instead of a full-featured Nintendo Direct in February could absolutely lend credence to the idea that a next-gen reveal is coming soon. This is the type of change in pattern that could be expected before a big next-gen blowout, and I think it's not crazy to maybe be bracing ourselves for something like that soon. But what if the next gen isn't ready quite yet? For one thing, if that were to happen, then Luigi's Mansion 2 HD and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door would probably get buried under all the hype of the announcement of Nintendo's next console. Plus, we still have Metroid Prime 4, which we know was announced for the current Nintendo Switch, and it's floating out there somewhere TBD. This is why it might make sense to instead expect our next regular mainline Nintendo Direct to come in March or April instead of June. While it doesn't happen often, Nintendo has held Directs during these 2 months previously, and both of them have happened this generation too, with March of 2018 holding a general Nintendo Direct, as well as April of 2017, right at the beginning of the Switch's life cycle. It's not impossible that the recent partner showcase was just clearing the way for a bigger March or April Direct, one that will finally give us release dates for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, and hopefully end on the gameplay reveal trailer for Metroid Prime 4. Plus, waiting until a June Direct seems awfully late to reveal release dates for these games, especially Luigi's Mansion, which we already know is going to be a summer game. There's no doubt we're getting a release date for that game before June rolls around. So unless they're just going to announce the release dates for these games on Twitter, we're going to need some sort of venue for these announcements. So when thinking about it this way, a Nintendo Direct in March or April might not be as crazy as it sounds. But what do you think? How do you feel about Nintendo's currently known release schedule for 2024? Are you expecting our big general Nintendo Direct to be coming this spring instead of summer? Or do you think the fact we got this partner showcase means we should be prepping for a next-gen console reveal very soon? Maybe it's neither, and Nintendo is just keeping an emptier schedule to buy some time to work on upcoming games, which is very possible, especially if they're hard at work developing for the next gen. No matter the case, one thing is for certain. It's going to be an exciting few months for Nintendo fans. If you're like me and can't get enough Nintendo in your daily life, then subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo discussions like this. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.